welcome back to Ollie Talks Airsoft and the final part of my update videos from my game on Sunday. And in this video we're going to go over the two pistols that I took with me and things that I did right and things that I just didn't. So let's get started. So the main pistol that I thought I would take with me was this, which was originally a Tokyo Marui SIG P226E2, and this was my main pistol for probably about 3 or 4 years until I moved on to, I think I moved on to a Glock after this, this one in fact. But what I did with this is I actually ended up putting a guard and metal kit on it because I thought actually it looks great, and I do have a bit of a thing for like a full metal pistol that actually functions. So that's kind of where I was coming out with taking this. I got 3 mags for it, which I've always found to be the right amount, because whenever I get a 4th mag I lose it. It's happened 3 times so far, so obviously in quite a long period of time. But as soon as I was like, no, you know what, I'm going to have 1 in the gun and 3 spares, invariably 3 times in a row I've lost that 3rd spare, so I just don't do it anymore. And for most of my guns actually I'll have 1 in the gun and 2 spare on me, that's it, and nothing further required. One gun, 3 mags, that's my way. I did make a big boo-boo with this though. So it hasn't actually had a lot of use since the gun was essentially retired and I put this kit onto it. It's more of a fun gun for me to have around the house. It works fantastically in the summer when we've got some nice warm temperatures, anything above like 20 degrees. This gun is an absolute storm. It's brilliant. As soon as you start getting below those temperatures though, the extra weight and the extra power for the spring that I put in here. So this has currently got like 150% spring. We're also using a steel outer barrel and we've got an alu slide. So this is considerably more weight. If I drop the slide here, yeah, it's this is one of those guns that it really has a lot of snap to it. But that means it's very difficult for the gun to run in colder temperatures, and I basically made a poor assessment of the temperatures on Sunday. But not only did I do that, I also made another fatal error. Had I done one other thing, this gun would have run flawlessly all day, I'm absolutely convinced. And it wasn't until I came back and decided, because basically I took it out and instead of, see, the thing is, at home, this is what I mean, in your living room, in your bedroom, every time it will work. And it will go through every single round and it'll hold back on the last round. You take this out into the field and actually want to use it, then you bet your ass it's going to half cycle and not load the BBs, and you're going to get shot. Which is exactly what happened to me. I pulled it out, it fired like 2 shots, which was fine, and then it was basically half cycling. And when this gun half cycles, you'll probably notice if I do this, the nozzle actually stays forward. Now, it does actually, you think that would be a problem, but you can kind of see underneath that there is actually sufficient room for it to strip a BB off the mag and load it. So even with the nozzle in this position, if I was to get a BB, put it into the mag, even with that nozzle forward, you can see where that BB is sat. So it's still going to load it. It still doesn't have a problem with loading, but if the gun only half cycles, it's not going to get loaded. So unfortunately, it was slightly too heavy. What I should have done is I should have cleaned it before I went out, and I should have re-lubed it. Now, this is quite bad because it's almost do as I say, not as I do. I am pretty terrible for cleaning my guns. I 100% understand the importance of doing it. If you want your guns to function properly, you should clean them. I'm actually in a position where I do actually have, as you probably can tell, I've got quite a lot of guns. Which means that for me, like if I was to spend you know, all my time cleaning. I would do nothing else but cleaning my guns, and so I have to essentially strike a balance somewhere, and that balance is usually if I take a gun out and it's not performing as I know it should be, i.e. nothing to do with the ammo that I'm using, but it's just not cycling correctly or it's not using the gas efficiently enough. I know that I've probably just got to go in and clean it, and I did. I went in and I cleaned this, and it was filthy, absolutely disgusting on the inside. So realised immediately that, you know, there was way too much additional friction that was being caused. So I've now re-lubed and stuff, so as you can see there's no dirt coming off it anymore, but there was. It was thick black grease coming off it. It was just really, really nasty. You'll still get some. If I run my finger down there you go. You can see a little bit on there. But generally speaking, this has now been cleaned. So you essentially go down the runners on the inside here and here. Also clean the runners down here and down here, and just wipe off just any dirt that's on there, and just re-lube it. Just spray it again with some silicone spray, and you will go back to full and normal functionality. Now, yeah, it was a little bit more sticky when I originally took it out. I kind of picked it up on a whim because I don't really use it that much. I think this is the gun that usually comes out with me. It's proved to be really reliable. I really like it. I like the red dot sight. I kind of got used to a Glock now, which means that I need to change. I need to go for something different soon. Because you can't get too familiar with one platform. I'm thinking maybe I might go back to a Beretta. I've got a nice M9. Or I might start using my FNX, or I really like my USP as well. So loads of different options, and this is one of the reasons why I didn't like clean my gun before I took it out, because I was like, you know what, I'll pack it. It'll probably be okay because it's not been shot that much at home. Well, yeah, unfortunately, the reality was it needed a bit of a clean, and as such, yeah, it was half cycling. It wasn't loading the rounds. It was making some noise, but nothing was coming out the front end, and that got me shot. That's just how it goes. That's just how it goes sometimes. That was my own fault. I should have paid more attention to what I was doing. So after the first couple of games, and realising that actually I hadn't cleaned this, and that was the major issue that was stopping this from working, was the fact that a little bit cold and it just needed a clean. I could probably have brute forced it using Garda black gas, and it probably would have worked, but nah, I didn't need to. Because I had a second pistol with me. Unfortunately, this one just went back into the box, and this one came out. Which brings me on to the mistake that I made with this pistol. And anyone that saw my packing video will notice that I only packed one mag for it. It's really foolish. Luckily, I didn't end up pulling it out very much. In fact, this didn't once get pulled out in anger. It was only this that got pulled out in anger, and it didn't work. Yeah. So, yeah, just to remember, like, when you take your backup gun, don't forget the mags for it, because I did, and yeah, we all make mistakes, and obviously it wasn't the be all and end all. I still had, you know, this still worked, still had one mag for it at least. I have taken a pistol before and forgot all of the mags, so if you're as special as me, you can like hit that like button, because that's pretty dumb. But you know, we all make these mistakes, don't we? I was trying to remember 7 guns and 7 lots of mags and stuff like that. So yeah, there was always going to be some mistakes that happened in there. I can't really prevent that. But yeah, so gun itself performed flawlessly, as it always does. No real issues. Again, this one didn't need a clean. It's a much lighter slide on this as well. So this has only got like 120% recoil spring. So, and you can tell the difference between 120 and 150, because 120, 150. Yeah, this is just a lot harder to power, basically. So knowing that, I should have cleaned it beforehand. I should have brought some more powerful gas with me. I just didn't think about it. And then knowing that I might run into a couple of issues, to then pack a spare, but to not pack any extra mags for it. Yeah, just learn from my mistakes. That's all. Okay, well, hopefully you found this interesting and useful. I know it's only a short one, but yeah, until the next time, guys, take care.